This week on Homesteady, we're planting our first permaculture garden. We chose this spot because I have a giant rhododendron here, which is a poisonous plant. It literally kills my goats. If you're planning on bringing goats to your property, you're gonna wanna look around for any azaleas, any rhododendrons, any mountain laurels. They're all kind of in the same family, they all kind of look the same, and they will kill your animals. What that will leave us is this bed here, this area that gets a lot of good sun throughout the day, and it's also going to open up the side of the house and it's going to be bare. So we thought, yeah, we could go and we could plant some bushes back there, but why not plant something that gives food? Planting a plant is going to take work and maintenance. Why not have it give back in food? And so we decided to build our first garden bed based off some permaculture principles. The permaculture principles that we're going to use on this bed, first, we're not going to till this bed. Tilling is a very destructive force in your soil. If you think about soil as like a living city, right, with lots of organisms, picture an actual city. When you till, it's the same as if a hurricane were coming through a city and destroying that web of life. We want a soil that's full of life, that has beneficial insects and fungi and all the things you need for healthy plants. So instead of tilling this area, we're just going to pull off, there's a lot of pachysandra there, we're going to remove the pachysandra, and then we're going to do some sheet mulching. Lay down some cardboard with some wood chips on top of that. That will be a great weed barrier. It will keep the weeds from popping up. And later on, when it's time to plant, we're going to focus on perennials. Lots of permaculture installations focus on what's called a food forest, which is a perennial-based system. If you think about annuals versus perennials, annuals are great. There's a lot of really delicious vegetables, hey buddy, that you can get when you plant annuals. And our partners at Grow Journey provide us with all kinds of very interesting annuals for our raised beds and for our garden in the back here. And we've already got a good start this year on our annual gardens. We love working with our Grow Journey annuals, but we're also interested in now planting some perennials. You think about the difference between an annual and a perennial. An annual, every year you have to plant in the soil. Every year you have to pull from that and then maybe plant a cover crop over and then replant the next year. So an annual is the same amount of work every year. A perennial, you plant once and then you maintain over the years, and the yield will actually grow. You'll get better and better yields throughout the lifetime of that plant. So this entire garden here, we're gonna treat like a little mini food forest. We're gonna create different layers. Down at the bottom layer, we'll plant some rhubarb, we'll plant some asparagus, different perennials that are in the ground that will come up and be protected every year in this space. And then we'll grow up with maybe some blueberry bushes, a couple apple trees, a couple peach trees. We're not gonna plant anything today. You're just gonna see us prepare this future little micro food forest. So we got a lot of work to do. I got my apprentice here with me today. We're gonna work him hard. We're gonna pull the chainsaw out and start cutting down these toxic plants. Let's get cracking. All right, we're gonna remove this rhododendron, and we're getting into some tick zone, so I'm gonna do the super cool thing and tuck my pants into my socks, because I'm cool like that. We're gonna put the cardboard down, we're gonna do some sheet mulching, gonna put some wood chips over it so that for years to come, we will no longer have to till. Gonna get a couple scoops of dirt. I have some nice composty topsoil mixture down in the back I'm gonna bring up here. Lay it down, we're gonna rake it out. We'll get the last little bit of pachysandra that I can't get with the machine, and then we're gonna get the sheet mulching started. Good. This is called sheet mulching. So you spread out your cardboard, and then on top of the cardboard you put wood chips. Cardboard is going to keep weeds from coming up. The wood chips are going to keep everything wet. It's going to hold everything down. Over time that cardboard will decompose. Cardboard has sugars in it, which attract worms to come up and eat at it, and all those good beneficial insects that we want in our garden area. You can see we haven't quite finished the area. We're going to be working on the wall, busting the old one out and putting a new one in. So I don't want to sheet mulch right to the edge because we'll only have to redo it anyway. And we're all out of cardboard for today, so we're kind of done. This over here, there's a section I'm going to throw some grass seed down. One way to keep weeds at bay is to dominate the area with what you want to grow. So the minute you disturb an area, you should have some kind of green cover, seeds, some kind of cover crop. We're going to just do grass on the lawn over here. And then over here, we're going to do the sheet mulching. I need a little bit more cardboard to kind of round out this area, a little bit more wood chips. And then this will be completely ready for whatever perennials I want to plant. So a couple little trees, kind of dwarf trees because they're near the house. A couple, you know, maybe berry bushes. I'm going to put some rhubarb, some asparagus. So in this bed, we're going to practice no-till gardening. We're going to do the sheep. We have our nice sheet mulching and wood chips. Remove the toxic plants. We laid out our sheet mulching, so now we don't ever have to till this bed ever again. We can build the soil, and we're going to plant this with perennials. So this is our first step towards turning this whole farm into a real permaculture center. This is our first footstep in the right direction.